For the first time, some parents in the Crosse School District will get to see what a year-round school could look like. The principal at Hamilton Elementary is presenting the idea to parents this week. Lisa joins us now with more on why this option is being considered.
Mike, it has to do with educators trying to find a way to stop summer slide and also close the achievement gap between students living in poverty and those who aren't. Last week, we traveled to Rochester to take a look at a 4515 school. Tonight, I'll take you to Hamilton Elementary and show you why educators in La Crosse are excited about what's happening in Rochester. These kindergartners at Hamilton Elementary School are working hard in their reading centers today.
These kids are doing really well, and we're taking our time through the curriculum.
Perfect. But even after a year of hard work, statistics show the students at Hamilton are struggling to read at grade level, particularly after the 3-month summer break.
What's happening is we're having more and more kids who are actually slipping over the course of the summer, and so more and more of the next school year is actually backfilling what they lost during the summer. And then we're playing the catch-up game, trying to keep them up to grade level.
So about a year and a half ago, when Mr. Michaels became principal at Hamilton, the staff started talking about the mission of their school and how they could help their students succeed.
Last fall, we began talking about, well, what kind of school do we want to look like? And the question of a year-round school surfaced. And as we continued those dialogues over the course of last year, that came back again and again.
So last spring, Mr. Michaels visited Longfellow 4515 in Rochester, Minnesota. Longfellow has been a year-round elementary school for 15 years in the Rochester School District. Chloe? The students begin school at the end of July and continue throughout the year on a 45 days on and then 15 days off rotation. The students then end their school year on the same day as the rest of the district, which is in June.
It gives kids a break when they need it, staff a break when they need it. It prevents that extended break that we're seeing students, regress over.
However, the district is aware of the research that states a year-round school doesn't completely eliminate the regression issue during breaks.
I'll tell you that research varies on this, whether that's purposeful or not. In a year-round school, let's say it's a 40-15 model, those 15 days, some research studies would indicate that there's some regression even in 15 days. Is it less impactful than 3 months? Certainly. So we just need to make sure that we're being very mindful of both the pros and cons with a year-round option.
For Mr. Michaels, another important pro is the possibility of closing the achievement gap between minority students and white students, as well as students living in poverty and those who aren't. The socioeconomic demographics at Longfellow 4515 in Rochester closely mirror those at Hamilton, which has an 80% free and reduced priced lunch rate, the highest in the La Crosse School District.
Their scores are indicating that they're really closing a gap, that the students are at grade level almost across the board, and that's really exciting.
And it's exciting for the teachers at Hamilton, too, where all of the staff members are interested to learn more about the potential for a year-round school, including Tracy Schneider, who previously taught at Longfellow 4515.
The demographic in this school is the demographic that will prosper because of a change in the calendar. And for that reason, for the kids, for myself personally, I support it wholeheartedly.
Because helping each student succeed, despite their background, is the goal for these educators.
I don't think that year-round school is going to be a miracle for, outperforming everyone else in the district. I think what it's going to do, though, is it could be a miracle for our kids, and it could help us close that gap.
Now, the mock school calendar that's being presented this week has students starting school at the end of July with their last day scheduled on the same day as the rest of the district.
So I imagine a lot to be considered here before this can even be presented to the school board.
There is. Just from the parents' perspective, Mr. Michaels is taking a look at what this means for childcare for families. Yeah. Also, what do you do if you have a student in a traditional calendar and then also a student in the year-round calendar? And then he also wants to take a look at making this an option for everybody. So Hamilton would remain a neighborhood school, but wants to save a percentage of that population to be open to anyone in the district who might choose this type of education for their students. So, and of course, there are many other aspects that they have to consider as well, from staff and you name it, and they have to look at all of it.
Very interesting. All right, thanks very much, Lisa.